Hey everyone, it's Ashley and Rachel here, and we are really excited to be channeling Archangel Metatron tonight. I am so happy, Rachel, you recommended that we channel him, and I haven't channeled him too much actually in like a video before. So this is going to be one of my first major Metatron channelings, which is really exciting. So have you developed kind of a special connection with him? Like kind of share why or how did he step forward for you?
Yeah, it is kind of an interesting story. I was always listening to channeled messages for a while, like before I even started taking mediumship courses or even thought that I could do this. I listened to channeled messages that people would post on YouTube and a lot of messages from Metatron and other beings, galactic beings. But I was never really drawn to him, which is really interesting. Out of all the ones I listened to, I just never was really drawn to his messages as much. But then when I took Kristin's mediumship course, we pulled in an archangel and he showed up, and ever since I felt his energy and connected with him during that course, he started like showing up for me. Just I was doing like research on angelic Reiki and I'm like, my crown chakra's opening up, who's here? And it was Metatron, and then he started to come forward like that a lot more and like wanting to work with me. And he's been kind of like a mentor for me now. He's taken over like as like my main guide pretty much outside of Archangel Michael. It was Archangel Michael and then Metatron kind of moved up.
Wow.
And yeah, so we have a very good relationship. Like he's very like fatherly and loving. So it was kind of funny in the beginning how I wasn't drawn to him, but then here we are.
That's awesome. Do you get, by chance, do you see a lot of like sacred geometry messages from him? Because I know a lot of people who are deeply connected with Metatron often connect with him through sacred geometry. So have you seen a lot of that from him in his style of communication with you?
Yeah, especially like in meditation. And then I've asked him to help me before open up my third eye. And when he was doing that, like there would be just random times when I was just in a more relaxed state. I wasn't meditating necessarily, but I would just be like seeing all this sacred geometry and colors and everything happening. And that's when my clairvoyance really started to come online. And I've you know, asked him to work on my chakras. So I definitely feel like his energy when he's doing that. And yeah, he's really good about like attuning your energy, attuning your chakras, and opening up your energy centers. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. I'm seeing a lot of people are joining now. So, hey guys, thank you for saying hello. Chrissy, thank you for asking. I'm feeling okay. I'm hanging in there. I think I was telling you, Rachel, earlier, I live in an area where allergies are really strong. Like, it's kind of crazy. So I've been powering through that, but overall, I'm doing good. Yeah, thankfully I have the Reiki in my back pocket. I rely on Reiki so much just to get me through like little colds or through allergy season, or if I'm really tired. It's an amazing thing to just be trained in. So that's a benefit of having that training in my back pocket, is I get to use it whenever I need it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to get trained in it someday, but that was kind of what I was doing research on when Metatron showed up. And since then, yeah, it's really interesting. But I am being guided towards that, but maybe down the road. But it's just so amazing because I did. I don't know if I've had angelic Reiki by you, but I've done like the galactic healing with you, and that was pretty incredible as well. So.
And that's using the same techniques as angelic Reiki. Basically, when I do the galactic Reikis, I'm just inviting different healers to come in. The angels are still there, and all of the techniques, the attunements, all of the symbols and everything are still present. It's just kind of a little bit of a shift to the galactic healers taking point versus the angelic healers. So it's pretty awesome because they all work together too. So it's a big party whenever that takes place. So I'm glad you really enjoyed the galactic healing. I want to do probably a fairy healing in the next few months, because of the way angelic Reiki is set up. You can kind of invite different beings to come forward, just like the galactic healers. So everyone can be on the lookout for that. That's going to come up in the next few months, and I'm really, really excited about it.
That's exciting.
That's so cool. Christy's saying that she sees sacred geometry in the morning when she wakes up. That's really awesome. Like, just starting your day like that is amazing.
Yeah, I was seeing it like before I went to bed, but I wasn't like sleeping. So it's somewhere in that in-between state, I think. Yeah, you'll see that more. That's awesome.
I like how you said that, the in-between. I think that's a really good way to characterize it.
Yeah.
When you're falling asleep or you're kind of coming out of it. But let's turn to Metatron now. Let's ask him to step forward, and let's share a message. So if anyone has questions for Archangel Metatron, feel free to post them in the comments and I'll call them out. But we're just going to invite him in and see who does he want us, which one of us should step forward first. He's pointing to you, Rachel, so I'll let you take it away, and then maybe I'll get a turn.
Yeah, he's really vibrating right now, like my head and back of my neck. So, yeah, he's just really wanting to. He's just really pleased to step forward. He's really giving that like happy vibe to be here. He's saying hello to you all. Hello, dear ones. Love and light and many blessings to you all for being here. He's talking about sacred geometry. He's saying, yeah, it's like he's just continuing on that conversation. He's like, with sacred geometry, there's a lot to learn and a lot to experience, but it's about the experience of it more than the knowing of it. Mm-hmm. So he's saying, just like, he's describing it as like being present with, like, if you're seeing sacred geometry, he wants you to be present with that moment and just allow yourself to absorb the frequency of the energy that wants to come through. So it's more an experience, he's saying, like a feeling, an energy, an energetic upgrade, he's calling it, an energetic opening of a pathway to source energy, to the cosmos, to the greater universal connection that we have with all higher dimensional realms and beings. So it's like the he's saying it's a common language between us all. We communicate and vibrate at that language at our highest selves. Our higher selves vibrate at that language of sacred geometry. And so it's known to all, and it's harnessed, it's the energy of it is able to be harnessed by all because all connect in that form, he's showing and saying. So it's like an energetic form that we all can understand and resonate on. And he's kind of showing it more like a subconscious thing, like not like we might not consciously understand its power or magnitude, but we will subconsciously feel the effects and vibrate at a higher frequency when we meditate. And he's showing like, look at it and just feel the energy of it and allow yourself to absorb that energy in. And he's kind of showing it as like similar to like angelic Reiki and galactic healing too. It's like you're kind of opening up an energetic portal and gateway to allow this energy to flow into your system and just help to integrate your system. Tune up your system like a mechanic is kind of what he's showing, like fine tune, like get in there all the glitches, he's saying. It's just being fine tuned. So, and activated.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Metatron.
That's so cool. That totally resonates with me. When I look at sacred geometry, it's cool. The shapes are pretty. I don't really resonate with having to know exactly what does that mean. I like to just get a sense of, oh, that feels good, or I like that feeling that symbol brings. And I've never been one to really like delve deep into understanding all the different shapes and what they specifically mean and how they like combine together to make different things. I'm just like, oh, it feels good. Like that's all I'm going to do with that. I'm not going to delve into it.
Yeah. So I guess that's intuitively the right thing to do.
But I mean, there are people who like, they really, when they look at the shapes and stuff, having that understanding is a way to process it. So if other people are more focused on like having the knowledge of all the different shapes and stuff, that's not bad. It's just a different way to process it.
He's like talking to you. He's like saying like the mathematical ones, the ones that have that mathematical side and brain and like to think a lot in that way and analyze in that way will find a greater connection to it in that way as well, or through that avenue, through that doorway. But then he's saying, but some of us are like, he's kind of like pointing to me and you are more like feeling centered, are more like empathic and just can feel the energy. So we tune in that way energetically. Yeah.
Yep. I hear him coming through pretty loud and clear. He's saying, however it is that you need to understand the energy or get that message or that connection to the greater universal energy through those symbols is acceptable. And that it may be a more mathematical or analytical process and or a feeling process, and maybe something in between. There are people who are a little bit more on the nuanced. He's showing like a scale. There's like right brain, left brain, and people who are kind of balanced in the middle. So it just depends on your flavor, what your style is. And he's saying that ultimately this is why he uses sacred geometry as a tool to reach as many people as possible and to share that energy with others, because it is that universal language that we can connect with in various ways. And he's showing it's cute. He's showing me as a little kid, like just like drawing symbols. And then he's showing me as a little older. and just kind of like looking at them. And then he's showing me a little older, like in class, like having to learn geometry and struggling really hard with geometry. I was am horrible at math. And he's saying this was just not resonating with me in that way. But many people experience sacred geometry and the energy transfer at various levels at different times throughout their life. So someone may be very left brain oriented as they're growing up, or they turn into more left brain oriented versus right brain oriented. So it can be an evolutionary process as well, he's saying. And as we understand the energy around us, as we're feeling, reaching out, connecting, asking questions of spirit, it all comes into alignment for us. And that's ultimately what he wants to help people do, is to be more comfortable working with spirit and stepping forward as they so choose, whether that's teaching sacred
That's why he worked with me. That's why he came. That's what he told me. Why he came to me was to help me, like, draw me out more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's just pointing to you. How about you talk about your stepping forward journey, your lightworking journey? How about you share with others what that's been like for you so far?
Yeah, it's been like a pretty fast-paced ride, but it's been really awesome. I started channeling on my own, and then I kind of learned from the guides that I had at that time, which was like Archangel Raphael and others. And then I started to look for people that channeled, and then I found your group, Ashley, Channeling with Love. Yeah, so, and that was when I wasn't even on Facebook at the time, but my guides kind of guided me towards, they kind of told me to start taking, not mediumship courses, but they kind of told me to start getting readings. And then eventually that led to taking mediumship courses. And when I got back on Facebook after, I hadn't been on Facebook for a while, I came back on, I found your group immediately. And and that was in October of last year. And then I started taking courses with you and Kristin Davies. And it really opened me up. It just totally expanded me in so many ways. And then I just got more confident speaking my truth and sharing my messages, because I was like, okay, because I had been channeling for a while, but nobody to corroborate or witness or share that experience with that actually has done that. And so to learn from and get that support was really important. So that, and then I started, I started my page in January, and that was, it's called Intuitive Soul Rising, and it's on Facebook. And I started it as a blog, as a personal blog where I could share my channeled messages. So I did a lot of automatic writing and still do, where I'll just write a whole message real fast. And but I also have a YouTube channel that I started called Intuitive Soul Rising with Rachel Sahwany, and that's been up for about 2 months now. And so I've been doing channeled messages there that are pre-recorded, but I do energy updates, and I also started just recently producing some content that is geared towards just helping people develop their intuition and intuitive gifts. That's kind of a passion of mine, because that was one of my blocks. I was always drawn to mediumship for the longest time in channeling, but I never heard anybody say before that anyone could do this, that you could develop these gifts. And it wasn't some, magical thing that just a couple people were born with, that we all have this ability. So that's actually what led me to start channeling on my own. When I heard that, I started channeling, and I started getting messages right away, and I was like, wow. So I would love to eventually help others develop their gifts as well, or inspire them or support them in that process. So I have I just in the last couple of weeks turned or added my business aspect to what I've been doing. And so I am now offering private readings. The sessions are an hour long for $88 a session. And yeah, we can just go deeper, answer questions that you have. You want to talk to your spirit guides, your guardian angels, or an ascended master or archangel, whoever wants to come through. You know, it's an opportunity to just kind of get more intuitive guidance and clarity on your higher purpose, how to align with your higher self. And so, yeah, so it really grew kind of fast when I look back, but that has been kind of just me following their lead, honestly. Like they just put the breadcrumbs. They just keep saying, follow the breadcrumbs. So like they just start leading the trail, and I'm like, oh, that resonates. Okay, that went well. That resonates. And so eventually here I am. So so yeah, it's been fun. And I worked with you, Ashley, through your Lightworker Mentorship Program, which is what really got me to the stage of opening up my business. So that's kind of that transition from going from just like sharing my messages and doing my blog to like now opening up a spiritual medium business has helped me so much. It was like the right step for me at the right time. And that's why I would really want to talk about your stuff for a little bit, because Ashley's mentorship program really helps if anybody's like looking to do this on their own, or even just start any type of spiritual business or lightworking type of related business. She will take you through that process of clarifying your goals, clarifying your visions. Like, what do you want it to look like? What, you know, we all have these ideas and these big ideas, but to get them into like reality, to bring them into manifestation, it takes a lot of like discipline and understanding the steps involved and how to refine those ideas in a practical way, in a way that fits and aligns with our lifestyle. And there's just so much to think about that sometimes you get inspired and you get these ideas and you just want to go with it. But I think that your program really helps you to kind of ground those ideas and really get clear about what to do next. And then all the details involved in starting your business. So the workbook that she provides in that is also invaluable, because it takes you through every single detail that you would need to know to like get your business from an idea to like up and running and then goals and your visions for the future. So, and what success will look like for you. So I just thank you so much, Ashley. It was so helpful in that process.
Well, thanks for sharing your experience. I wanted to highlight, like, I met you in my Facebook group in like October of last year, and it was just like, oh, I just added this lady to the group. And then you just started showing up to the events and into the mediumship course. And I worked with you a little bit there. And then you were stepping forward, kind of being more active. And then you're just like, oh, well, I'm going to try and take this mentorship program with you. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's get it going. And so working with you just in that short amount of time, it's really been a whirlwind of activity for you. And it's been really fun to watch, because I saw you when you were first channeling, you know, having that experience working with your peers and Kristin or myself, or I think there was also Paul in that group, Paul Milgis, in the group. He's also a medium that we work with. And it was just kind of this whirlwind of activity. And then now you're here, and it's amazing. It's so cool to see your page is up and running. I will include a link, you guys, to her page in the comments after this video, so you can find her and book with her if you want a reading from her. She's a really great channel, and she also has her awesome YouTube channel, so you can put a link in the comments to that as well, because that would be really fun to be able to share that. And yeah, like you were saying, the workbook that I put together it's so detailed. Sometimes I worry that it's a little too much, but at the same time, I'm one of those people, I'm kind of one of these weird people where I have these big ideas, but I'm like, okay, how can I like actually make this happen? Like, I'm going to be really realistic because I don't want to waste my time thinking about these big ideas if I can't actually do it. And it gets really, for me personally, I get really frustrated when I have this cool thing that I want to do and I can't figure out how to do it. So that's why I put the workbook together and put the mentorship program together, which is the workbook. I have a bunch of pre-records that people get to watch that answers just kind of more my personal experiences and how I got through certain things. And then the mentorship part is I meet with people. So I met with you for 4 weeks in a row. And between each of our meetings, you had homework that you had to do. And it was awesome because you just kind of like powered through all of the tasks and things that you needed to get done. And or if you weren't able to do it, you had a plan for it and you were able to figure it out. And now you have it pretty much all set up and you're rolling. So it's really, really cool to see how, again, you were just starting to channel in like October and now you're here and you have like a full business now and you're rolling in it, you're moving forward and you're living it. So it's really, really exciting. And I'm getting Archangel Metatron speaking he has a message for you, Rachel.
Oh,
and
wow.
He's just so proud of you for stepping forward and following the breadcrumbs. Sometimes that's all it takes for anyone to actually move forward on their path, to move forward in a direction that is going to spark the greatest joy in their life, is just following those little breadcrumbs. And it may happen really fast. It may not happen as fast, but the more you go with the flow, and he's highlighting that you just went with the flow, like you were saying, you just were like, okay, I'll take this step. That resonates. Okay, I'll do this step. Okay. Like you just went with it. And that's the easiest and the fastest way to move forward on your path. And you found a way to follow those breadcrumbs. And he's just kind of like golf clapping, applauding for you. Good job. And he's just very privileged. And he's saying he's honored to be working with you so closely as you move forward along your path. And he's now turning to kind of like the greater crowd of people who are watching this right now, or maybe will watch this later. If you are interested in stepping forward, follow the breadcrumbs that are presented to you. Just listen to your heart, listen to how you respond when an opportunity is presented. And if you have fear, hand that fear off to your guardian angels or myself, Archangel Metatron. If you have fear, he's showing someone like looking in the mirror and feeding that fear to their mirror image to be transmuted. So handing it off. If you can't imagine handing something off to a guardian angel, hand it off to yourself. Your higher self that's going to come in and clear that for you. So there's a lot of different opportunities for you to move forward. And he's highlighting too, a lot of people actually fear not the trials or obstacles of moving forward along a path, but the success of being successful in a path, or in a business, or blowing up, being viral on Instagram or YouTube or wherever you're going to be viral. He's saying, do not worry about the influx of success, because that is everything that we deserve as we move forward along our path, and as we are on the planet. All of that is energy exchange. So he wants to specifically call out to people who may be worried, maybe subconsciously worried, that you're going to succeed and do well. It can be scary, if you succeed so much, your life completely changes, and some people aren't really always prepared to handle that. But he's saying, if you feel that resonates with you, do a lot of mirror work, ask Archangel Metatron to come in. And he's highlighting that you always have choice. So we always have free will choice. And lately, I don't know what it is, but I've been seeing like angels holding up their hands and waving their fingers when they say free will choice. It's all in your hands, like spirit fingers. It's all in your hands. You have the power. Yeah. So he's just really proud of you, Rachel, and he's so happy that you're stepping forward. So we do have some questions here really quick. Let's get to some questions and channel some guidance for people with Archangel Metatron. Let's see here. Jim is asking, any specific steps to develop clairaudience? You want to take that one?
Yeah. I'm tuning in. He's just showing like opening up your ears to listen. So, but he's calling it listen with your inner hearing, and he's saying your inner voice. So he's showing it like your own intuition as well. Like the feeling is like you have a strong intuition about things, and you are picking up on the information and the guidance, but you're maybe not trusting yourself that that is the guidance you're getting, or that you're getting that guidance from your guides or your higher self. And so he's just wanting you to like be patient and trust and build up your trust in that process is like the first step he's highlighting. Mm-hmm. And then he's just emphasizing quieting your mind, like stilling your mind, and learning to listen as the still observer. He's saying like the quieter your mind, the easier it is to hear. So the messages are coming through, but there's like questioning or doubting of, is that me? Like, you know, because there's maybe too much chatter going on in the mind. And so he's showing like wanting you to empty your mind and to just be still more, and to like through meditation, maybe to practice that relaxation techniques. He's showing like focusing on your breath, just breathing in and breathing out, and kind of using your breath to sort of empty your mind, clear your mind before you ask your question, before you and set your intention to get a clear response, a clear answer, and for it to be like clear that you can hear. And you can ask them also to expand their energy if you feel like it's not coming in strong enough. But the emphasis is really on clearing your mind and trusting the process more.
Awesome. Yeah. I totally got the same. Like, I think it's just a matter of distilling your mind, Jim, and practicing that. And yeah, you'll get it for sure. Lindsay is asking, any advice from Metatron on my spiritual path or life right now? I'll take this one. There's another question while I'm tuning in for Nancy. Does Metatron have a message for Nancy? So if you want to tune in for Nancy, we can dive in there. For Lindsay, Metatron is saying, your spiritual path is solid. So he's showing like a broad road. It's like solid. It's just like, it's not going anywhere, Lindsay. You are on your path. You are on your correct path. And right now in your life, there may be some obstacles or little blips. I'm just seeing like little situations that maybe feel kind of bigger than what they are going to end up being when you first encounter them. And he wants you to just recognize and remember as you encounter these little blips or situations along your path, that you are energy, you are love and light, and love and light dissolves and transmutes everything. Whatever's in your path, whatever you encounter, you're going to be able to navigate it and do that with grace. And he's showing in a high vibrational frequency. So there's no need to worry about how things are going to end up or how things are going to play out, because you're just going to be bringing your light to that situation. And that's exactly what you need to do whenever you encounter an obstacle that maybe feels big, but it's not going to be big. In the long run, it's not going to be big at all. It's going to dissolve, and everything's going to just, it's just kind of he's showing me like this really big light. Like when we're standing really close to a light, it may feel like it's taking over your whole vision. But as you, he's showing as you shine your own light, you're kind of pushing that other light back. And the light is like the situation, the energy of the situation. You get a little distance between yourself and the situation, and you can clearly see what's taking place, and then navigate as you need to. So don't let yourself get overwhelmed, and just trust to know that you're surrounded by love. And he's stepping back now. So I hope, Lindsay, that resonated with you.
And yeah. And so for Nancy, she wanted to know, does Metatron have a message for her? And just tuning in to his energy now. He's saying and showing that he has a lot of love for you, Nancy. He's like reaching out. He's like reaching his hand like down to like kind of pull you up. So he's kind of, it's like a symbol of him like wanting you to reach out to him more. He's saying, reach out to him more and connect with him more. He's saying his energy is all around you. I'm really vibrating on my whole like head and crown is really vibrating. So there's also, he's working on your crown chakra as well, I'm getting. And he said he's like sending you messages through the airwaves, like through the imagery is like there's like white light coming in through your crown chakra, that I feel like he's sending you that energy. He's sending you that love and light, and it's like encoded energy to help raise your vibration. So he's saying that when you think of him, even he can raise your frequency, or you are resonating with him, with his energy. It means that you're resonating with his energy. So call on him more and set your intention. He wants you to be more clear about your intention and why you want to work with him, or what you want him to specifically help you with. He's saying for you to feel that connection more deeply. It's about asking for help in a more specific way. And that he can help you more specifically in any way you wish. But he keeps saying he's around you. He's like, I'm around you. Like, so I don't know if you've been feeling him or drawn to him, but he's definitely around you. And the feeling is just like energetically, just his energy is just like all around you. It's surrounding you and coming in through your crown. So, yeah. So if you want to work with him more, definitely reach out to him. He's there.
Awesome. Michelle is asking, one of my chakra star names was channeled as Metatron's voice. Is this an indication I should be working with Metatron? What do you get? A yes, no?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was getting a yes. It's just like resonating on the same frequency, the energy. So there's something, it's like there's no coincidence. So if the name Metatron's coming up, then he's kind of drawing you in a little bit. So if you resonate with him, or you want to learn more, then definitely, yeah, I feel like there's some kind of connection there.
Oh yeah. And Michelle, I'm getting him just kind of looking at his watch, and he's like, it's time, let's go. Let's make it happen. So I hope that resonates with you, Michelle. Christy is asking, is there anything he would like me to focus on at this moment? Does Archangel Metatron have any advice for me? Thank you, Ashley and Rachel. Are you sensing anything?
I just kind of was looking at the comments. I was trying to get to where we were in the comments, so I kind of just a little bit wasn't tuned in fully when we asked that. But I
Okay.
I can
pull it up.
go back. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me see if I get anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of getting a general sense of like wanting you to just be more focused or outward with your light, like shining your light, I'm hearing. So just like stepping more forward in that type of a role in your life in whatever way that resonates for you. I feel like they're kind of calling you forward a little bit, more forward in action, like more the feeling is like to be a little bit more action oriented, like setting some goals, some goals that are going to help you branch out more and be more open with your light is what they're saying. That's what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm. I'm feeling the same thing. Chrissy, you just need to kind of feel it and follow whatever direction you feel like the energy is flowing for you. And just don't second guess it. Just try it out. See what happens. Just kind of go with it.
I'm hearing that's why you're here. Like he's pointing to us, like this, the reason why, because we're sitting here, we were talking about earlier about when you asked Ashley, like, how did you step forward with your light? That whole process is kind of like, there's something about that there's a reason why you're here to hear this conversation. And I feel like that's what he's drawing the attention to right now for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Chrissy, I hope that resonates for you. Thank you for the question. Lisa is asking, what does she need to know now as she has started her empowerment journey? And I'm getting, Lisa, right off the bat, Metatron is reinforcing boundaries, maintaining your boundaries, assessing what are you comfortable with as you move forward, how will your energy transition, and your frequency will rise as you're moving forward on this journey, and how are you going to maintain those changes of energy within your life. Those boundaries are going to be important as you may encounter individuals who don't necessarily resonate with you. Sometimes as we start this journey, people kind of fall out of our lives, or it's a little bit more rockier to encounter them and maintain a relationship with people who are out of step. And that's no fault of their own, that they're on their own path. But reinforcing and maintaining those boundaries that you set and establish are going to be really important as you continue your journey and you're really going full force. He's kind of showing you, Lisa, having this kind of wall around, like a little gate around, like, like a stone wall that you would have maybe around your house. And he's putting sacred geometry symbols. He's like slapping them on like stickers on this wall, like he's helping to reinforce with that energy. So if you want him to come in and assist you with your boundaries, I think he's definitely ready and willing to assist you in that process. So feel free to reach out to him for that. This person, I'm sorry, I don't see your name. They were saying that they were at a gathering where some family members gave them the cold shoulder due to one-sided stories which were told to them. It was hurtful, which, yeah, that sounds like it really sucks. Is there any advice from Archangel Metatron? Do you feel anything from that, Rachel?
Yeah, I feel him kind of like just like telling you to like block them out. Like don't so I'm trying to see like get clarification, but the sense is like just tune them out. He's clarifying, tune them out. Don't, and now he's saying, don't tune into that energy. Don't tune, it's like the sense is like, don't focus on that aspect or tune into them or give, it's like a feeling of like giving your power away because, letting them get to you, he's saying, letting them get to you too much, because he's kind of showing like he wants you to feel a sense of separation, like it's similar to like, you know, setting the boundaries, setting your intention, setting, you know, like a bubble of energy, of protection energy around you, so that you aren't absorbing their lower frequency, their lower hurtful. The intention might be hurtful in some unconscious way on their end, but he's not wanting you to absorb that or pick up on that aspect, because it's not true to your nature. It's not who you are, and you don't need to focus on that. He wants you to focus on like love in your heart, like joy and compassion and forgiveness and acceptance of yourself and of others for who they are and where they are in their life. So the feeling is like, don't concern yourself so much with like what others think of you, and be more concerned like what you think of you, like how you love yourself and how you care for yourself and how you show yourself what you need from others. What you need from others is essentially what you want to be giving yourself more of, so that others will essentially, it's like their energy won't affect you as much from when you build yourself up stronger. It's like that energy dissipates faster. It just doesn't even touch you like it used to. So he's saying it as like it's a process. It's a process of healing and growth and transformation, but you can intentionally set that into motion and call on him as well to help you with that, to help clear the vibes, he says, because I often ask him to do that for me, clear the vibes of anything that even I might have picked up on energetically that isn't meant for me, like, or it's just not good for me to align with that type of feeling or way of thinking about myself. Because he's showing everybody being on their own path, and they perceive things the way that they perceive things, and we can't necessarily control that, but we can control how we take in that information or just not take in, not accept as our truth is the realm. I get a lot claircognizantly, so sometimes it's hard for me to get the words, but usually once I start describing it, he'll come in with like more specific words if I'm tuning in correctly.
Yeah, claircognizance is really interesting because you're getting the full idea or the full concept like right away, and then you have to tease it out and actually explain it. And sometimes, it takes a little bit, but you did a great job, because that's exactly the energy, the vibe from that question that Metatron was sharing with me as well. And Remzo actually commented, he just said old energy, but I feel like that concept of old energy, like a stagnant energy, just really applies in the situation for that person. Like that's an old story, like it's just an old story, and we can de-story that situation by focusing our intentions of the self-care, the self-love, everything that you just said. And that's not how that old story plays out. It always plays out when people get hurt or respond in kind. And that's the way that story is expecting to be played out. But as we remove ourselves from that energy, we can step forward and write a different story, create a new whole energy. And that's the most amazing thing about just our free will choice, and being able to really call out that energy when we see it, even though it is really hurtful. So, I mean, I totally have been in that place too, where it just sucks. It doesn't feel good in the moment. But when you step back and you reflect, you're able to de-story it, rewrite it, and move forward in a really cool way. So that, I feel like that was not just for that person, but that was for a lot of people.
Everybody.
Yeah. So if that resonated with you, definitely run with it and think about that for yourself, because that, I feel like, definitely was a bigger message there. We'll have probably one more question. And Jody is asking or saying she has always been drawn to Metatron and she would love a message if we have time. So yeah, let's ask for Jody if Metatron has any message for her. I'm just hearing the first and foremost, the word love. He's just sending you a lot of love, Jody. He's saying, yes, you have resonated with me for a long time. Not just in this life experience, but in many of your other life experiences. You have picked up on my energy, my frequency, and we have often worked together. So this is not a new, he's saying sensation. It's not a new story for you. So he's just saying that he just loves you a lot.
I got the love too. I got the feeling of love also right away. So, yeah. Definitely.
Awesome. Well, Jody, I hope that resonates for you. And Rachel, thank you so much again for coming live with me and hanging out and taking questions here in Channeling with Love. It's been really fun to hear your experience and how you've gotten your business going and you're stepping forward, and seeing you in actions, watching you channel is like really fun for me, because it's so crazy to see. I remember how you were before and how you are now. It's like amazing just how much work you've put into all of this. It's been really fun to watch. So I just want to say thanks for stepping forward. And again, we will put in the links to your page and your YouTube channel under this video. And when I post this on YouTube, I will put those in the description box as well. And if anyone is interested, I will be having that Fairy and Elemental Kingdom workshop happening July 9th through the 11th. I'm getting it prepared now, and it is going to be amazing. I'm super excited. So if you want to come hang out with us and enjoy some really fun, light fairy energy, it's going to be a really good weekend, and I'll put the description and the links to all of that information in the description box, as well as you can go to channelingwithlove.com to check out my mentorship program or the fairy workshop, and come hang out with me. So anyway, thank you guys so much, and have a good rest of your evening. Bye, Rachel. Thank you so much for joining.